for instance, with all this colorism within the Black community, it is divisional. But when you look at these darker skinned people, what do they have to offer other than playing basketball, rap music, whatever? What do they have to offer?
Pack you all the way up, son.
She really redeemed, or she using the guy next to her to look like she's redeemed? Like when these women are getting married and getting these relationships, do they really want to be with this man? Do they really want this marriage? Do they really want to be a wife? Or is it they look good being next to this man and they being validated? What you think about that, my brother?
Well, I'm gonna get to the point of how I see it from my point of view, and anybody can disagree with me. I see marriage as only the highest divorce rates with African American dark skinned women. I have noticed that, and the problem with them is that they're unsubmissive. They don't know how to be submissive, and if you study any other minority group, ethnic group, they don't have the same higher divorce rates. So I believe I support colorism. I don't care whoever disagrees, but I feel that a darker skinned Black female is usually the candidate for having a hopeless marriage because she wants to be the dominant force and not the submissive type.
From dark skinned women. But where do you get that from? And could you substantiate? Because a lot of times the women I see end up being bougie and full of themselves is typically the red bone and light skinned girls. Like they typically revered way more than dark skinned girls, where you would think the dark skinned girls would be more patient and more humble because of the way they've been treated in society, and they actually try to cooperate with the man. A lot of the dark skinned women, when we were growing up into college, into even now, a lot of women struggle with their identity because they were shamed more than anybody else, shamed more than the light skinned girl. She was more revered and more accepted. So why would you think it's the dark skinned girl that acts way more unsubmissive than the light skinned girl?
Because the dark skinned girl has always been disobedient to really any man. If you look at the police videos, you see darker skinned women beating up cops, resisting them more than even a man would do. I mean, so basically, if you see that from that point of view, they always telling a man, shut up. I mean, you don't really hear a lot of other females telling their partners all the time, shut up. It's always some dark-skinned woman looking like Whoopi Goldberg, looking like Pam, telling a man, shut up, you know? So basically, you know, even if it is a stereotype, it's becoming a reality of accuracy, because why is it only dark-skinned women is easy to be with, but they have a bad attitude? They don't really want to settle down with a man. And actually, they always cheat because they always think they could find a man who has a lot more money. So actually, darker skin would always cheat the most.
Is that y'all experience? Why so serious? Is that your experience? Uncomfortable truth. You think the dark-skinned woman is more non-cooperative and more aggressive than the light-skinned woman?
I will say this, and this is it's funny he said this. I don't know what's up with my algorithm on Instagram, but I have, because I'm
talking. I gotta tell y'all, I'm talking to the dog too.
Oh,
so y'all don't think I'm well, I talk to my kids sometimes like that too, but not my that's my dog. Hey, sit down. Oh, go ahead.
I got 2 Instagrams, so when I see something, I'll send it to myself so I can save it for later. I've seen a lot, and I'm talking about a lot. You remember the show Cops? It would show young black men doing etc. in extensiveness. It has been a plethora of dark-skinned black women going against the police. I'm not finna get out the car. I'm not finna give you my license. I'm not finna show you my insurance. I'm not arrested. They'll be stealing out of the store. Don't touch me. I've seen an influx at restaurants where they throwing their ass, where they throwing stuff, trash in the place. I have seen, and this brother right here, he came from out of nowhere with this. I was like, that's kind of a broad statement, but it seems that today, though, like darker skinned women, they're more aggressive. They are. And light-skinned women, I agree with you, Ali. They've been more of a hothead, the red, be unstable mentally, but they've been more on the like, I'm too pretty to do this, and they're on the I'm finna use my light skin to get be a gold digger, on that end. But as far as aggressive, I gotta agree with the brother.
But is
And
it what you? But is it similar to if we say is most of the dark skinned brothers who commit the so we're gonna say it's most of the dark skinned brothers who commit the most crimes and most of the dark skinned brothers who the most aggressive too? Like, are we? It seems like a narrative will perpetuate that the white society will put on us, and we'll take the encounters that we see and go, oh, you know what? It's mostly dark skinned women. If it's a small fabric or small statistics of the women who even do those things or men that do it, do we go quickly and go, oh, it's the dark-skinned women who doing it versus light-skinned women who do it as well too?
Well, I'm not gonna single it down. Let's just take the skin
Yeah, but
of it. I understand what you're saying, but I just seen an influx of women being aggressive, and it's unfortunately our women. No respect of any type of authority. That's where the whole black fatigue came from. It really came from young black women just acting like Sha'Carri Richardson type stuff.
But do you think most black women act like Sha'Carri Richardson?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Ho. Like what you just showed, what you broke down yesterday on Fatty Show, the majority of black women
No,
act.
no, 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 no. So be the violent. You think most of the black women are violent?
Yes. They're the first, statistically that's proven. They're the first to spare off on domestic violence. It's just men don't report it. But when women are in emotional spats with the man, it's usually the woman that always strikes the man first. It's not gonna leave a mark.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But are we saying, let's say when we talking about the issues that it happens, once we perpetuate that narrative, we'll have to say that most of our women are violent towards us. Most of
They
your
are.
women are violent towards you.
But they are because not towards me, but they are because they've been empowered. We've basically said we've empowered the
No, no,
woman.
no. Hold on. Truth. You said not towards you. Have most of your women been violent towards you? Why so serious?
Have they mostly been?
Only
Nah.
one. Only one.
My
has
brother
been.
Kazimir, has most of the women you encounter been violent towards you?
Well,
Can you hear me?
whenever I had an issue
Yeah.
with, hello. Whenever I had an issue with a female, it was
Yes.
usually of a darker appearance of them. They really do love
No,
to
I didn't
fight.
actually.
And the thing is that
No, that's not what I asked.
they
Hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. You might have a delay. No, has most of the women you've been with been violent towards you? Most of the black women been violent towards you?
the darker skin ones I'm putting emphasis on. Yeah.
No, I forget the dark. So that you saying the dark skinned ones, but have you dated mostly dark skinned women?
Come on, bro.
You got a delay.
He got a delay.
Yeah,
Hey,
mostly dark skin.
refresh.
But what
Refresh
I
your,
would say is that
refresh,
they
brother. You got
only
a delay.
vulnerable to be with because
Refresh. Just refresh real quick. My brother, I am black. My brother, how you doing, my brother? Can you hear me? Does he got a delay too? I am black. You got a delay?
Hey, how you doing, Brian? Thank you for allowing me on the platform.
Yes, sir. You might have to. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Like right away, or
can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you, but you might have a delay.
Yes, sir. I can
both
hear
of y'all might have a delay, man. I think both of y'all have a delay.
I'm responding directly to.
Okay. Say what comes after 4?
Hold on.
Yeah, see, I think you got a delay.
But the
5.
See, yeah, you got it. You know you got a delay, brother. If it took you that long to say 5, you know you got a delay. They about to mischaracterize all of us and say brothers can't count. So you better refresh that, brother.
But no, to answer your question, no, Ali. The majority, no. Only one.
Hey, Kazimir, y'all both got to refresh.
Can y'all hear me?
I know, but it took 10 minutes. Yes, sir. Just refresh real quick, family. Just refresh. I'm telling you, trust me, refresh. Hey, Kazimir, you got to refresh too, my brother. Both of y'all refresh.
Hey, Ali, I'm gonna be back. I gotta charge my phone. I'll be back in about an hour.
Okay, go charge your phone, man. Hey, but my brothers ain't even charging their phones up and stuff. God damn, boy, we looking. Whoo. So this is the thing.
I don't support that.
It like imagine me coming up here and like data wise proven that the dark skinned man is the most violent. They more violent than light skinned men. They commit more crime than light skinned men. And then we talking about dark skinned women. Most of my relationships have been dark skinned women, but I never had a dark skinned woman put her hand. Hold on, let me think about it real quick. No, I ain't never. If I did, kind of a little suspect moment. But most of the women I dealt with weren't violent towards me, and most of my women were dark skinned. My lady right now is dark skinned. And most of the times, if I had interactions with women, bougie wise, I would say light skinned women would be a little bougier, but I would say, most stuck up. But I would, most of the time, I saw the women that were giving cooperation are more humble with the dark skinned women because of the way dark skinned women were being treated when I was growing up. Like, and the way I see the dark skinned women are, it to me, I saw dark skinned women being more submissive than light skinned women. But I don't want to make it a colorism thing. But a lot of times, the light skinned women were getting what they wanted, where black women were working, dark skinned women were working more on their traits and skills because they felt like they weren't desired or ugly because of the narrative society was pushing out while we were in middle school and high school. And still to this day, where a lot of women, white women, like to emulate with the black. She want the big lips, she want the big hips, she want the big booty, she want the big breasts, she want darker skin, but it's typically emulating what the black woman was as well too. So I can't. There's no way I'm gonna jump off the limb and go that dark skinned women are the most aggressive,
but I'll hate to
the most violent.
I'm not gonna say dark skinned women are because I'm brown skinned. And so funny, my husband and my children are more your complected, Ali. But what I will say, when a lot of darker toned women, most of them talk about colorism, it's because they may not be that cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily due to and they may be a bit overweight. It may not necessarily be due to, I'm not saying colorism doesn't exist, because it does. But
absolutely.
Yeah. But most of the ones that complain aren't the ones that most men are trying to look at, period.
Yeah.
From an aesthetics perspective, respectfully. You know what I mean?
Of course.
They're the average to, below average build.
I will say, growing up, most of the women who fought the most were dark-skinned women. But that's just because they got picked on a lot. Like, they was getting picked on, so they fought. You ain't finna be talking about me pulling. Like, this conversation, because most of the dark-skinned women I know have great hair. Like, so they used to get picked on by their hair because the light-skinned girls used to get perms and hair be braid. It was a lot when we was growing up. But like I said, most of the light-skinned girls or the fair complexion girls, they were, pedestalized most of the time. So they didn't really have to do too much. And then then the dark-skinned girls, as beautiful as they were, they got picked on because, back then, red bone syndrome. Mm-hmm. That's how it used to be. So the dark-skinned women I grew up with, they fought a lot because they most of the time had to defend themselves. And they was fighting women. They was fighting men sometimes, taking books. You ain't even be calling my hurt nappy, taking books and going upside his head. Now, when it comes to dating, I've dated, most of the women I dated was my color or darker. I ain't never had that situation where women put their hands on me. Like, we having a conversation, she just haul off and smack me. We have a conversation. Huh? What you saying, Kazimir?
But don't you notice for some reason, darker skinned women do force themselves to be accepted? Don't you notice like they do have an easier, character of wanting to get to know you, whereas other ethnic women, they're not easygoing like that. They don't really want to get to know you. It has to be where you got to be close enough to be successful or rich to get a fair skinned woman just about. But when they're more darker skin, it's always easy to get them because they feel low self-esteem about themselves. They don't have a lot of confidence about themselves. And really it's a trap off because they just want to get with you so they can make themselves feel better. It's not about making you feel good. It's about making their lives feel better because they just want acceptance. That's all.
Yeah, but if you say that, and like I said, we jump off that ledge, then you would have to say the light-skinned woman would be even worse because she feels entitled. Like every man that she encountered hey, she was the princess, she was the queen, she had to do bare minimum. She just had to lay right there. You had to take care of her. We make it worse towards the light-skinned woman if we're gonna go off that narrative as well, too, right? If she was behaving a certain way so she can get validation, then the light-skinned woman didn't have to do anything for you, right? Who was worse in relation? Who would you think ideally is worse to be within a relationship?
Right.
Dark-skinned woman who will humble herself to get some type of validation, or the light-skinned woman
but why be?
Can you answer that question real quick first, my brother?
Yeah, but why would you want to be with someone who's desperate, holding on to you as a clutch to boost up their confidence? Why would you want someone just to be with you? So
you didn't hold on, you didn't answer my question. So let me say it a different way. Would you rather be with a woman who needs you or a woman who don't?
I'd rather be with a woman that I can trust, but I don't want to be with someone who is just
no, brother. This what you're doing right now. And I hate when people get mad when I say this, but a lot of times when I have conversations with my sisters, they will answer it like how you. I didn't ask you none of that. But when you talk to women too and sisters, they will answer that. I'm not saying you a woman either. I don't want you to be offended because I'm not saying it that way. But when I have conversations with sisters and we trying to have men know it's condescending and it's a certain type of way when we ask you a direct conversation, question, and you don't respond back in the same logic. Where when we ask sisters a question, they make it about what we didn't ask. I didn't say none of those words. What I asked you was, would you rather be?
I don't want to be with someone who's desperate. I'm gonna just say I don't want to be with someone who's desperate. That's it.
I didn't ask you that either.
But I'm gonna answer it that way. Okay.
So you're gonna answer it the way you want to answer it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to be with someone who is desperate, who is trying to hold on to me.
What you're gonna do going forward is what you're gonna do is hurt your credibility in the conversation, because now you're gonna want to have a conversation the way you want to have it and how you feel based on the conversation as well too. So then the logic just goes out the window.
Okay. I'm not here to be loyal to anybody. I'm not here to be loyal to anybody. But what I'm saying,
I didn't tell you did it again. No, I was asking you to be loyal to logic. I didn't ask you to be loyal to nobody. Okay. You did it again.
Well, what I would say,
hold on. You said you were going to come up here to have a conversation, right? And you wanted to be open-minded about your logic. But now you're telling me you're going to be more emotional than you're going to be logical. I didn't ask you to be loyal to nobody. I asked you to be loyal to logic.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to try to answer it the best way I can. I guess for me, do not want to be with someone who needs me to hold on to make themselves feel good about their low self-esteem, about their self-confidence. If you only want me because you feel I have privilege because I'm light-skinned and you feel left out because of that, and you want to claim the piece of that so-called privilege or that earning, then that's not a good reputation for me to barter with. If you really look at it, for instance, with all this colorism within the Black community, it is divisional. But when you look at these darker skinned people, what do they have to offer other than playing basketball, rap music, whatever? What do they have to offer?
Oh, so you mean in general now? You say you got an issue with dark men and women?
Yeah, because I feel like basically they just want to use someone as cannon fire to boost up their agenda, whatever their propaganda is about. We light-skinned people or whoever else, we don't want to use people as cannon fire to boost up our life or agenda.
So why so serious? Why you using this, man, to boost your own agenda and ego? Like, why y'all doing this to us?
Who we?
I'm talking to why so serious, because he's a darkie that's on the panel.
No, man. I want to say I think it's equivalent exchange.
What you mean?
Like, you give me a platform to speak my mind and my opinions, whether people like it or not, and you might not agree with them, but it's also giving you content and people are tuned in. So I look at it as an equivalent exchange. I wouldn't say I'm using you.
No, but hold on. So do you agree with him that the dark-skinned women and dark-skinned men, all my best friends have been dark-skinned? So I don't agree. He's saying that he have issues with dark-skinned men and dark-skinned women, and they feel entitled in this country So I'm trying to feel like why you think you so entitled? Why so serious?
I can't answer that question because I'm not entitled to nothing.
So you don't agree with his statements? He's saying
I don't agree. I don't. I don't agree with that. And this is coming from I hate bringing it up because I want to apologize for you about that the other day. But if I never told you my ethnicity, you would think I'm black. I'm not. But
that don't make. But why so serious? See, I wasn't gonna bring that up either. But I think that's an ideology that you got messed up in your brain. Respectfully, like and I think that's a lot of us. So we was colonized all over the world. But for some odd reason, the Asian that's in America know that they are Asian in China and Japan or Korea. The Arab that's here knows he's an Arab in Saudi Arabia and Iran. The European that's here know that he's white in Germany and Ireland and all these and all these other countries. But here we go as black people think that we're separate from the African or other black people all around the world. And I still don't understand that type of conversation. How do you separate yourself from being identified as black when your DNA is sharing similar DNA to that same person that's on the other side of the world, and hence we call it African American. But how do you see yourself? If I see you as black when I see you, but then you say you're not black, and then you say you African, are you saying that you don't saying the same diaspora as the black man in America versus the fact where you came from? Like, what generation are you? You say you don't say you African.
No, I see that's the thing. People like on the pod the last time, people were making comments. My wife is black. What are y'all talking about? I don't date African women. I grew up in South Memphis. I grew up in Lamar.
No, slow down.
Listen.
No, you moving too fast. Remember, you did this with the hold on, move fast. You told everybody you not black, right? Where do you feel like you not black? Like what makes you think you not black? And then you'll tell people you African, but then you with a black woman. What made you be with a black woman if you don't feel like you black? Now you said it. You said it on the last show. You don't identify as black. You don't see yourself as black. And
but
I didn't want.
But I did say I have an affinity because I grew up with it. So
no. Why do you not see yourself as black?
That's because the people that I grew up with didn't see me as black. You eat bean pies? Like I got to a point with me where I had to deny the fact that I had to downgrade being Muslim. I had to denounce that to fit in with the same people I grew up with. So now it's like growing up, then when 9/11 hit, I'm Muslim, so I must be a terrorist too. I used to have to fight because my sister didn't want her job. Y'all ain't finna be pulling my sister a job.
No, hold on. You think? Look at my name, and I'm light skinned. So you think because people will give me hard? So you think because people will give me a hard time because I was associated with Islam or associated with being light skinned versus the way I probably got treated when I got older? I'll go. You know what? Since they being ignorant, I'm gonna be ignorant too. I'm not black. And I'm not none of these people. You don't think you black because people said you not black?
I never said that. But if
you said no. Why you? Why don't you?
I do agree that maybe the way I come off is it's a difference between me and my.
Well, why?
It's between me and the people I grew up with. I will say that the way I speak, I will say it, and I be trying to tell people I'm not trying to say one thing is better than the other because at the end of the day, I'm here in America. I'm here raising my kids on this soil. I was born here. I have a birth certificate. The woman I'm with is a woman that's from the same neck of the woods I am. She ain't come from over there. So what I'm saying is like when I bring it up, I do have to stop that because I do take pride in the fact that my culture is different. Now, that's one thing I love about, but I think that's also in the Islamic faith, period. I don't know what you are, Ali. I thought you was I don't know Christian or Islam or Judaic. I don't know. But that's the one thing I need to start doing is just big up in the Islamic culture that I have, because it's more than just black. It's more than just Africans that are Muslim. You got white Muslims. You also got Asian Muslim, which is crazy. I found that out in Japan. You also have black Muslims, the Nation of Islam. And I get why a lot of people in the comments said what they said. When I thought about it in hindsight, I wanted to apologize to you next time I got on because I was like, that wasn't my intention. I'm not trying to separate myself from the next people because I grew up with y'all. I fought with y'all. My homeboys died in my arms, black.
No. But Africa is a social construct. That's not a race of people.
But then but I'm saying, so what am I supposed to say to people that call me a tether when I'm trying to explain that you a tether by proxy? You are a tether.
What's a tether?
They say people that come from abroad trying to live off the things that black people fought for.
No. So the tether would have been, when you say what you said, you would ultimately be a tether. So if you come, a tether is the person that comes from supposedly another country. Well, let's say the African. You come from Africa. You come into this country and assimilate to the black culture, and then you talk down on the black people in the culture, especially if you say you're not black as well too. But you come in the country and you'll talk down on the people while you assimilate to their culture and benefit from the culture. That's
why people say it's be condescending when I say that.
But the original FBAs came from an immigration background.
Hold on real quick, my brother. A lot of people who look black, either you simultaneously can hold black people accountable while addressing the issues with black, or you completely down black people while you're benefiting from being black and the culture of being black.
And the thing is, I'm not trying to be the ladder. I'm not trying to talk down on the black community while benefiting off of it. My kids are going to be raised in it, so I want it to be how it was before. I want it to be how it was before desegregation, when the black community stayed together, got together. It was the black dollar circulated within the black community, because my kids are going to have to get raised in this.
No, but how can you say that if you're not black? If you know the people that look like us was colonized on both sides of the world. And look, I'm associated with Islam and Christianity. My father's side of the family was Seventh-day Adventist. My mother's side of the family was Islam and Muslim, right? But when you think about it, the Arabs, so when you look at Egypt was black before it was conquered. The Romans, the Greeks, and the Arabs conquered Egypt, but the original Egyptians were black. It's the cradle of civilization, but they was black. There's no denying it by European philosophers and black. Okay, so when you look at the fact that we was black, no matter where you go around the world, the people that look like you and identify with you, it's a DNA cluster, because race doesn't really exist as well too. It's the variations of the DNA and the DNA cluster that determines who people are based on association of the people that look just like you as well too, where Europeans have the youngest DNA cluster, DNA variation. They have the least amount of variation. And in Africa, we have the people that look like us have the majority of variations, right? But if the Arabs with Islam enslaved us for way more generations than the European, how do you then differentiate yourself or separate yourself from the people that look just like you? Because the people here taught us to hate Africans, and the people who your same people colonizing Africans taught them to hate black people.
They brought that up, the 6,000 people who died, and I was trying.
I'm asking you because Africa is still working on decolonizing. There's probably two nations that weren't colonized, and it's very difficult for us to not be decolonized. We trying to integrate and supposedly have our own identity, but we're still assimilating to the people that's been here as well too. We're not having actually our own identity, where the Jewish people, they got people to be able to assist them, give them reparations, give them a whole land, other people's land, where we're still disrespected, we're still degraded. It's still held against us for asking for reparations, for asking for our identity, and for asking for a nation as well too. A lot of people now are conforming completely to the identity of the identity this country wants us to have, versus the fact that people used to not want to be assimilated, didn't want to integrate, but it ultimately kind of protected us by integrating, which is a long conversation. But what I'm saying is, every race of people on the face of the earth sees themselves the same. They'll have their fights. Majority of them, they'll fight amongst themselves. They'll have their battles, but when it's time to come together to be that race, they'll fight together.
I have a question.
We are the only one of the few ones that go, oh, I ain't them people. We over here, I would say 60, 70 million of us, and there's 2 billion of us on another continent that we say, oh, they're not our people. But the Germans, the Italians, all them people associate with the people over here that look like them, and they still working together. But when you look up black on Google, it's gonna say Black Americans. When you look up white on Google, it's worldwide in ethnicity with the people that are Europeans in here as well too. That's crazy to me. So all I'm asking you is, if Asians all see themselves the same, majority of them, see themselves the same, the Arabs and the European white people, think about what happened to us for us to look at each other differently. Even in America in itself, black people look at each other separately. I'm not them. They're not me. That's why we have the so-called people we'll call coons who look down on their own people, and we here. Go ahead, Kazimir. But I'm just asking you, just think about when you say that.
Okay.
Because it's presented.
So
hold on.
I would like to know Why do FBAs claim everybody else, like they say Dominicans as black? If Dominicans, for instance, do not want to claim to be black, even if they physically do look black, then why are y'all so fixed on trying to claim them? And even the Mexicans and even Asians, that we all come from Africa, that we all human, and that we all should get along. I don't believe in that philosophy. It's okay. Whoever doesn't want me, that's okay. I don't want them either. But I think the Black American diaspora is very desperate at times because they just want everybody to accept them, and they see everybody as a friend and actually a brother to them when really they're not. And it just amazes me because if they don't really want to get along with each other so much, which they don't, why do they claim other people who's not even their people from their culture? And when you really study FBA culture, the first original foundation Black Americans came from a tethering immigrational background. Marcus Garvey was a Black tether. A lot of others from the Nation of Islam was also tethers, and the list goes on. So I don't, Farrakhan is Jamaican if you really look at it. So once again, why is these Black Americans so quick to claim everybody else but not each other? It doesn't make sense.
They're quick to claim everybody else but not each other. That's the thing I'm saying as well too. We're selective with it. We will claim each other when we want to, and then we'll. So for instance, I've had moments where people, when I was growing up, where people would not say I'm not black. Then as I got popular, then as I started producing, when I started being a reputable type of person, or even before then when I was playing sports, now I'm black. And we'll do that to celebrities as well too. So, but we're taught those things. So there's all of us have been, most of us that look like us have been colonized all over the world. And the greatest way to colonize a person is to make them give up their identity while you get them to accept your nationality. So a black man will say, hey, I'm American, but I'm not African. I'm American, but I'm not those black people over there. I'm not black people nowhere around the world. I'm an American, but the American as a country doesn't work in the benefit of the person that looks like you. They only accept you as long as you work for them, as long as you think like them, as long as you believe like them. But in reality, once you think a different way, they'll say, hey, Kazimir, take your behind back to Africa. Hey, why so serious? Take your behind back to Africa. So there must be some similar traits and attributes that we have where we're the same, because once you disagree with them, why they tell you to go back to Africa and me to go back to Africa and Johnny and Coco, all of us to go back to Africa if we're not the same.
But the Africans don't want us because we don't come from
that background.
That ain't true. That ain't true.
You repeatedly not answering what I asked you. If you disagree with the black conservative, if you disagree with the white man, a lot of them, and the ignorant ones too. See, I don't conflate all of them. It's the extremity of the ones who are ignorant. All white people aren't ignorant. All black people aren't ignorant. All Africans aren't ignorant. Everybody knows who is who. Excuse me, I have to stop saying that. The people who are open-minded, who are intellectual, who are edified, who are intentional, you'll know who you are and who you're not, right? So what I'm saying is, why is it if you disagree with the black conservative or the white man that's ignorant, why do they tell you when you disagree to go back to Africa instead of claiming you as an American as well too, and allowing you to have your own mind as well too, which is the freedom to be an American? Why don't they say, okay, my brother?
Well, guess what? I don't believe in unity. There's no such thing as unity. There's no such thing as unity. There's no such thing as unity because it's all about survival.
I didn't ask you about unity though. So I'll come back to you. You know what I learned to do? You know what I learned to do? If you can't answer my question and you said you didn't care about it anyway, I'll come right back to you. I asked my brother Johnny Bravo, and then I'll come back to you. Maybe you want to answer the question that I asked you, Johnny Bravo. And you may be black conservative. I don't know. Why is it when a black man disagrees with the black conservative, or he disagrees with the white American that's ignorant, why they don't acknowledge and allow him to express himself as an American citizen and say, okay, I disagree with you, my brother, who are American citizen. Why do they tell him to go back to Africa?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I'm not too big on race and ethnicity. That's not really my wheelhouse. I'm more of I identify as being black. I'm not too much on rather I'm African American or Afro Latino. Like I'm more of a just.
But what is a black man? I'm telling y'all, what is a black? Do you think you have? Do you think you are African?
Do I personally think I'm African? No, I don't. Like,
where did you come
if
from?
I go by my lineage,
Let me ask you this. Watch this. Let me ask you this. If another country, if China kidnapped you right now and brought you to China and your family over there for 100 years, are you Chinese now, or and your family members Chinese now, or are you still American?
I would say they Chinese because they would have been born and raised there.
So
like
you would
my
claim them as
descendants will be Chinese.
Right. Is
like
that their race
along.
or is that their race or nationality?
I would say that's more their nationality.
And I just want y'all to start thinking
race
about how
more, if I give my opinion race, it's more just like how my features would be as far as who I'd identify with.
I just want y'all to,
like when I'm born, like I'm born over there, so I'll be considered.
I just want y'all to pay attention to what they've taught us to do versus what the white man will do. He'll tell you he's an Italian. He'll tell you he's Irish. He'll tell you he's German. He'll tell you he's from Australia. He'll tell you he's from all these different places where the black man that look like us will fight so hard to not be associated with nothing that's African. We'll say we black, but not African, even though the country tells you you're African and American. Why you think they answer like that, Coco? Why you think there's black men or black conservatives or even ignorant white people who will tell somebody to go back to where they came from, but if the white man disagrees with you, they won't tell them to go back to where they came from. They're allowed them to be an American citizen who disagrees.
Well, who has been merciful to us?
I asked Coco. Until you answer my question, my brother, don't even ask another question. I'm still trying to get you to answer that question because you keep deflecting from my question. So instead of me over pursuing, what I'm doing now is if you can't answer my question, you can't ask a question until you answer my question.
So what is the question you want me to answer? What is it?
Why does the black conservative and the white ignorant person tell a black person who disagrees with them to go back to Africa instead of disagreeing with them? Oh, go ahead.
Because they feel in their eyes that we are all the same from the continent, supposedly. But I don't care what they think, supposedly, because I don't believe in unity because there's no such thing as unity. Each tribe, each nation of people is a traitor amongst each other. And that has been proved for centuries. So who cares about whatever a person feels about your nationality or your culture or heritage? Many people from your culture and heritage will always turn against you. If everybody was to go back to Africa from a so-called black descent, they would never claim us. They would never accept us. That's why you have so many Africans migrating to America for a better life, migrating to Europe for a better life, because even their own people treat them like dirt there all the time. So what does it matter about you being proud of your culture, your heritage, when your own people will stab you in your back before somebody else would?
Because you came up here talking about, hold on, you say don't care about it, then why you talked about colorism? Why did you talk about dark-skinned men?
No, I talked about colorism because darker-skinned people seem to be more desperate to be.
Let me finish, please. You said who cares about what they think, and you came up here speaking about dark-skinned men and dark-skinned women. So obviously you care about it, and you care about identity politics as well too. But it's the same way people who will speak about identity politics will tell you that's not what they actually believe in, but you do believe in it. Like what? So who are you? Are you a black or are you American? What are you?
I don't claim what Black Americans claim. I don't claim what Africans claim.
I didn't ask you.
I am a person of color. No, I am a person of color, but
hold on, brother. I'm just going. Hey, brother, I didn't ask you none of that. I asked you, who are you? What are you? Like, who are you? What do you identify with?
I am a person of color. I'm not Caucasian, but I don't claim the Black community. I don't claim their religion. I don't claim Africa because I'm not African. I would know that I'm African if I was from Africa. I would know that. So I don't claim those people. I don't claim the normal Black American culture because I don't identify with their life. I don't live the same life they do. I don't believe in their gods. I don't believe in their religion. So I'm an individual. So what I would say to that is I don't believe in unity. I believe in survival. For my purpose, I don't care about joining this clique, joining this team, whatever you people do. I don't do what you people do. I'm me. I'm an individual.
Right, which means you are ultimately, honestly, you hate yourself because you identify as a person. Let me finish. You listen. I let you expound. I let you expound to give a context. Stop. Let me speak, and then you can speak. You do hate yourself because you said who cares about what people think about you. You came up here talking about colorism. Now you say you don't associate with the Black community, but you're a person of color. What person of color? What, and that means, and you also follow the narrative of what this country pushes, as if the Black community is conflated to the ignorance, to self-degradation, to violence, to all these things that you probably look at Black people about. Why are you not proud about being what person of color you identify with? Like, why do you look down on the Black community as if the Black community is the minority of whatever you look down on?
Why does his opinion matter so much?
Crip Jesus, hold on. This is a conversation. Please don't come in here real quick saying why it matters when it's a conversation. Why don't
I'm saying his opinion doesn't matter?
His opinion matters. Everybody's opinion up here matters. I'm not that type of person. I'm having an actual conversation with somebody.
No, his opinion doesn't matter.
Hey, Crip Jesus, hold on. No, it matters. That's why problem. It does matter.
He moves and shakes nothing in the Black community.
Hey, Crip Jesus, can you hold on?
He's a peon in the Black community. He's nothing to the Black community.
Okay.
I don't claim the Black community. I don't claim that. That's
right. Why not? Why not?
Because they are desperate. They need everybody to join them. So that's weak. Who wants to join people who needs everybody to join them? If you really look at it, the only reason why Malcolm X was destroyed by his own people was because he spoke the truth. He was fair-skinned. He was mixed with Caucasian. If you really look at it in a sense, Rosa Parks, the same thing as well. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. The only people that has really stand up to help the Black community was fair-skinned, biracial, mixed-race Black people, supposedly, that did come along to help the Black community. What has the darker-skinned Black community done for each other? Not a damn thing, nothing. Even white people have given Black people a chance to earn their privileges. Even white people have done more for Black people.
Yes, of course.
Me too. Like, well, you know what?
Hold on. Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, y'all. My channel is not a channel to be triggered. Okay, just know where y'all at right now. Right. This is a channel where we had an actual conversation, whether somebody being ignorant or not, whether somebody being intentional or not. This is to have the conversation. So if someone doesn't associate themselves with the Black community and looks down on the Black community and they see themselves as an outsider, somebody else, there's nothing wrong with to have the conversation. Let's have the conversation without nobody being their feelings. Of course you can't.
He said dark skin. He said dark skin.
And again, if you can't,
I'm not triggered at all. I want to give my long list of dark skin.
So hold on
to the American history.
And I asked you to hold. And why you talking over
Marcus
me?
Garvey.
And why you talking over me? And I'm gonna mute up. And if you talk over me, I'm gonna start muting up because I care about the conversation. I'm not in the feelings. I'm gonna let Coco go, then Crip, you can go right after her. But again, let's have the conversations. If you can't, if I'm asking you to control your feelings, and I think it's understandable if you are in your feelings because this is it's a emotional conversation. It's something that can trigger people. But I'm asking y'all to have an open-minded conversation, please. Go ahead, Miss Coco.
You might have to skip over me. I'll come back. My daughter's screaming in the background, but I'll be back.
Of course, I understand. Keep hope alive. Crip Jesus, go ahead, my brother.
You muted, Crip Jesus.
Muted, Crip Jesus. You muted.
Oh, he's still part self. Peace. In the spirit of Black History Month, it's three things we're gonna have to address here, and in the spirit of Ramadan. First of all, the whole concept that just because you're melanated or descended from the E1B1 Y DNA haplogroup, you have to choose between Africa or America is racist to begin with. If you look at, especially in the Islamic culture, if you look, we've been traveling. When I say we, I mean people from Mali, Mauritania, Ghana, Senegal, and people from over here in places such as Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, and the Caribbean have been crisscrossing, zigzagging back and forth between Africa, Europe, and the Americas long before Europeans even knew how to touch a boat because they were in the dark ages. I don't know if y'all read books or not, but they were in the dark ages. Most of Europe couldn't even read when most of our ancestors were riding boats back and forth across Europe, Africa, and the Americas. And these people can be named such as Leif Erikson, such as Mansa Musa's predecessor, Abu Bakr II. You know, I can go on and on with these names. I'm not ignorant at all. Then on top of that, he said he doesn't claim the black community. The black community is a colloquial term. That's like when Spanish people say we're brown and we're proud, or like causing Asians yellow. It has nothing to do with claiming your actual lineage. If you don't know who you are or what you are, brother, that's too bad. Just say that. Some of us know who we are. Some of us can say my grandmother was Cherokee. I'm Gullah Geechee. I'm Choctaw. I'm Chickasaw. What happens is those who aren't able to claim their lineage get jealous. We see this in the white community as well. Those certain white individuals, especially that you find in trailer homes, that don't really know their lineage, just have a color to identify with, they're very racist. You see the same thing in the black community. Those that don't know how to identify or have any lineage to draw back to, even in the gang culture.
He breaking up.
Why so serious? You gonna speak to my brother?
It's cause
now. By the way, remember he said he not part of the black community as well too, and you denounced the black community as well too.
I don't denounce it. Don't do
you
that.
said yes, you did. No, when you say you're not black, you're denouncing your blackness. You're saying you're not black. You are associated with the nationality of there's America, there's Africa, the continent of Africa. You ain't even saying what country or what
I
location.
always say country.
Oh, well, okay, you say the nationality. You'll pick a nationality or you'll pick the continent. Where over here,
Ali, not you. I always say Sudan.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. How long you been living here?
I've been living my whole life.
Are you American?
Yeah.
Hold on real quick.
I have a birth certificate.
She got your ass.
And that's what that's what a black man will call themselves American, but won't call themselves black. That's crazy.
Saying, what you want? I'm saying I was born on American soil.
What if you were born on American soil? Would you be black?
I would. Yes.
You American later, right?
I mean, come on, Ali.
Okay, so what would you be if you were in Africa first? Before you
If I was in Africa, I'd be Sudanese. I would be Sudanese.
No, before that.
What you mean?
Would you be black?
Over there, coming over here, or just being
you still not understanding.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I think I break that down because
Ali, I think I can. Okay.
What would a white man? Oh, go ahead, my sister.
What would a black man
hold on, real quick.
Monkey.
Yeah,
white man.
So I'm the daughter.
Artie,
I'm the daughter of Nigerian immigrants. So black is just the umbrella of melanated people from Africa. And then you have
no fucking Africa
that have been carved up from
these black people outside
European,
Africa. Let me back up here.
I'm sorry. Nations in Africa that have been carved out by the European powers. Then you have ethnic groups of people that may have not wanted to be within the borders that have been made by these European nations. And that's why you see a lot of infighting with different countries in Africa, because they, not just in Africa, but in Eastern Europe, because of what the major powers have carved up the world, essentially, outside of China and Southwest Asia, but they have their own concerns too. So I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to make this really quick, but because the dog and the children are going crazy in the background. But I say all this to say is I'm with the ethnic group Igbo, and not all people in my ethnic group get along. What has us uniformed is the culture and the language, particularly, and the area of land that we came up in. But even with that, there's infighting in every group, and that's normal and that's okay. The main difference is that there's standards that all groups have. So I identify with Black people because I'm in the umbrella of what Blackness is. I grew up in Southwest Houston, Texas, which, is an urban area. But I also grew up within the subculture of ethnic Nigerians. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions between both groups about each other.
Thanks.
But when you grow up and you live amongst the people, you realize good people are period. and then you disassociate yourself with the ones that are not. So yes, I am Black. I'm a Nigerian American, and my ethnic group is the Igbo. And I'll go and make sure the house is not coming down. I'll be back.
Can I finish what I was saying?
Yes, sir.
So anybody can say what they is. It's like the trans thing. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm this. You can fly somewhere else and learn a new language and say you're that tomorrow. It doesn't matter what you say you are. What you looking at, what you hearing right now is a real Black man. From my gums to my teeth to the way my arm is shaped, it didn't matter what I made up in my mind. It didn't matter if I said I'm a unicorn tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? This is real life. Like I said, E1, B1, Y DNA haplogroup, Mr. Kazimir Kennedy. There goes some science for you to go study. You feel what I'm saying? This does not have to do with a language or a religion or a history, because there's Black people in Asia. There's Black people in Africa. There's Black people in South America with different languages, different religions, different cultures, different histories. It has nothing to do with slavery. It has to do with DNA, genetics. Okay? So it's like you can claim to be whatever you want to be. It sounds cute. It sounds cool, but it has nothing to do with the reality. You feel me? Now, when you get into languages, to me, not to be disrespectful, but when you get into culture and languages, it's kind of stupid because Black people are the original people of planet Earth. We have so many languages and cultures that conversation can go on. You can do volumes and volumes and volumes for 10 years. And it's not only limited to Africa. I don't agree with that. There's Black people in Australia called Aboriginals. There's Black people in India called Dravidians that are pitch black, gums black, feet black, hands black. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm Black because I'm Black. It doesn't have nothing to do with you having to identify or want to be in. The only reason you're so adamant about expressing your lack of identity with the Black community is because you have no community. A person who's Jewish, that's dark skinned, doesn't have to keep saying, I'm not with the Black community. I'm not with the Black community. You don't have a community. So the thing is, because you have no community, you spend your whole time talking about how you don't identify the Black community. But the truth is not that you don't identify the Black community, it's that you have no family and no friends. So you have nobody that's Black, her peer to identify with, because you're isolated, you're a loner. See, if you went to a school full of people who identify as Black and had girlfriends who identify as Black and lived a culture that with people that identify as Black, that'd be your Black experience. Because you have a lack of Black experience, you have no Black identity. That has nothing to do with the rest of us. We don't need to hear you keep repeating that over and over. You feel what I'm saying? The Black man goes back before even written history. Little boy. So really, the concept of Black goes to the way your nose is shaped, those big ass lips you got, that bullshit hair you didn't get cut. This is what they're describing. Now, you believe you're not Black, that's cool. But I can tell by the look on your face and the fact that you chose to come to this live and keep saying, I'm not in the Black community.
Oh, hold on, like Crip Jesus. One thing too. Oh, no, I'm not holding. No, I'm not. I know. When I say stop,
well, why
stop.
do you claim me? Why do you claim me though? Since that's the case, why do you claim me? Why do you want?
Both of y'all. I'm not doing the. We're not going back and forth right now to each other. Let's not disrespect each other. Like you still talking in the background. I don't know if you realize you off the stage. We're not going at each other. We're trying to have an open-minded conversation. If that's what he feels, it can be addressed. What you feel, it can be addressed as well too. We trying to just have the conversation. There could be a lot of ignorance being spoken up on here right now. Let's just have the conversation. I'm not trying to do
you want everybody to join you.
No one said that.
You want everybody to join you because you feel.
I didn't say that. You speaking emotionally, brother. Who said that? I don't want everybody to join me. That's not what it's about. We trying to have a conversation. I didn't say I want people to join me. He's still back there talking.
I'm with you, Ali.
You got 5 minutes, man. Like you got 5 minutes back there, or you can leave. Like I can't keep doing that. Again, Crip Jesus. If people got identity issues, let's have a conversation. We could be having the identity issues. The point of this is to have the conversation, man, without letting it get derailed all the time and go to ad hominems and making it emotional. I don't want to make everybody can go somewhere else and make an emotional conversation and get in their feelings. Let's have a logical conversation. When you could feel how you feel, and you have every right to feel how you feel. But let's have a logical conversation, man. Can we do that?
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
I ain't gonna lie, Coco just explained it so well. What I have been, and I guess the way I project is coming off. When I was growing up, the only thing that separated me from my neighbors who was, you know, black, it was the culture. Like, that's the only thing. Like, I didn't know nothing about race like that. I didn't know none of that. All I know is these people love being around me. I love playing football with them, basketball with them. It wasn't until as I got older and then different things started to come. Like when my sister and them started going to school, they can't show their body off. So now they have to wear hijab. They got picked on. That's when I started seeing differences. So people telling me, you, what are you? I have to pray 5 times a day. I can't do that in Memphis City schools like that. So now I'm getting ostracized. You giving him fair treatment to go leave the room during this test because he got to go pray. I wanted, like, it was certain things that came up to make me think like, am I different from these folks? Because they cry just like I cry. They bleed just like I bleed. I lost the same homies that they lost to the gang wars, to car accidents, to drowning in pools at pool parties. But like the real testament to make me start like saying I'm really gonna claim being what my ethnicity was when 9/11 hit, and the same people I grew up with, you Muslim, you a terrorist. So now I'm like, I've been here with y'all my whole life. How am I a terrorist? Well, you believe what they believe. No, and I'm like, no. So what am I to y'all? Well, you are a homie, but you not black. They start telling me that you not black because your mama speak a certain language. Your dad speaks a certain language. Your mom and your dad in the house. You got to pray 5 times a day. You don't eat pork. You value marriage and relationships because I always wanted to be married as a kid. What you want to be when you grow up? Married with 12 kids. Like people used to, so that made me look at it like, damn. And then, like I said, excuse my friend, but when I grew up, I started to fit in with my friends. I ain't Muslim. No. I started going to church, knowing doggone well I don't feel nothing. No disrespect to the Christians. I don't feel nothing stepping inside the church. I feel something stepping inside the mosque. That's why when I people like so what I'm trying to get people to see is because the way Coco explained it and Ali put me on blast with it. The only thing that's, in my opinion, that separates the nationality and the race is the culture. It's your culture, it's your upbringing and your cultural background. Basically, how you was raised in your household. I noticed now in hindsight, I had it way better than the people that I wanted to be with. I wanted to be in the stelos and the stolen cars with my homie, knowing they stole it, not knowing that they stole it, because it's fun to be with them. I wanted to be out all night. I didn't want my mom to stay at home and my dad have to go to work, and then they isolate. When she at work, he at home. When he at home, I didn't want that. But not saying that just all about the community. That's just what the neighborhood I was staying in. But that's all I was
but that would mean you had a subculture within the culture. You still part of the culture. What makes you different outside the fact that you had parents from a different country and the fact that they probably both 2 married parents and you have an Islamic background? You still part of the culture. Yeah. You still black.
So but Ali, I understand what he's
I understand what he's saying as well too. Hold on, my brother.
Am I wrong for saying what I'm saying, Ali?
Hey, brother, please control yourself, man. You like you was talking all about dark skinned people. You making light skinned people look bad. Like a light skinned person on the panel can't control themselves. They talking. So if dark skinned people doing all this damage, why you can't control yourself, my brother, and have a conversation? I asked to have the conversation without being triggered in our emotions. You still staying in your emotions.
No, I wanted to talk about this.
And you laying on your bed with your hand behind your head, my brother. You got to get up out the bed, family. We having a conversation.
Like, bro, you looking way too.
Does it matter? Like why are you black people always judgmental? Come on, man.
Hold on.
Why are you black people always judgmental? Come on.
I'm light. Hold on. Hey, y'all, I'm light skinned. I said it. I want a dark skinned person. I light skinned person.
Okay, but you're always criticizing somebody. I don't do that.
Now you contradicting yourself because you say you're not part of the community. So why you say y'all? Like, are you part of us or you're not part of us? Are you me? Are you light skinned like me?
I'm not a part of y'all.
He don't have no community.
You don't look too much light skinned. I don't need a community. I don't want a community. Here's the thing.
No friends and no family.
Here's the thing. It wasn't
your turn. You deflected. I'll come back to you.
No friends and no family.
I'm
no
sorry. Can I
community.
ask Ishmael real quick? Were you ever called an African booty scratcher? Because I was called an African booty scratcher.
Hold on, y'all. Please, can y'all see what I'm trying to do? My brother, I don't want to mute you or take you off the stage. Can you just control yourself, my brother? I'm gonna come right back to you so you can have your questions as well too. But they were talking. Please, man. I want you up here. I don't want to take you down. And you light skin. We trying to be part of the light skin coalition.
In the spirit of Black History Month, flush this nigga.
Can I get
it? My brother still hasn't talked yet. And you can't be talking. Majority of my supporters is dark skin. I can never go at the dark skin brothers, man. You must be crazy. All my best friends is dark skin. All my ladies, maybe except for 1 or 2, is dark skin. So it's crazy that we having these conversations where we do the colorism conversation, and not saying the colorism doesn't exist, but when we keep trying to take the minority of people and conflate them with all of us, it's crazy. No other race of people have been taught to do that but us. We want to conflate the Black community with the less than 1% of the population that's in prison, less than 1% population of people that's deleting each other, less than 1% of the population who blatantly ignorant towards each other, and you're going to look at it the way you've been taught to look at Black people, my brother. So again, the Black community, you have to stop conflating it with the aspect of the hood you're looking at, because there's great people that's in the hood as well too. It's a minority of people in the gang culture. It's a minority of people deleting each other and banging on each other like that.
And that's the double truth, Ruth.
Hey girl, you watch Ali and the Untouchables? Nah, girl, they talk too much.
Man, this man, they talk too much. They talk too much. Too much for real.
They talk too much, Habibi.
They talk too much.
Y'all talk too much.
Catch the full video only on YouTube.